Hello everyone, this is Priya Besbarwa, counseling psychologist here at Socially Soul, and today I'm back with another video. And today we'll be discussing about a topic which is so rewarding but also very challenging, and that is about the various parenting styles. You know, the very notion of how a parent is supposed to be, or you know, the very understanding that according to parents they are doing the right thing, but according to the kid the parent is doing the wrong thing. You know, so the entire conflict there, it is one topic which is very, very interesting. You know, I mean, I know a lot of parents who do their best. They give everything for their children, you know, everything. And I'm not just talking about the financial aspect. I'm also talking about the emotion, the what not. Yeah, they give everything. But then again, it's not necessary that the kid will have the happiest life. Similarly, you know, sometimes kids, they try their best to get their validation. They try to achieve things not for themselves, but to make their parents happy. You know, like imagine a 5-6-year-old trying to win a running competition to make the mom or the dad happy. I mean, a 5-6-year-old is not supposed to think if this is going to make my mom or dad happy or not. It should be like, oh, I won. Or it should be like, oh, I have fun. You know, but yes, a lot of that actually comes from the kind of parenting style that we use. Or, you know, as a matter of fact, there are so many different types of questionnaires which helps you understand what is the perceived parenting style for the matter for the kid about the parents. But yes, having said that, there are 4 primary different parenting styles, and today we'll be discussing about each of them. So the first type of parenting style is called authoritarian parenting style. So let me explain you that with an example. So if you have heard your parents say things like, I said so, or I'm asking you to do it, so you better do it, or you know, it's my way or the highway. So if you have heard these kind of things, that is because there's a lot of high demands and very high expectations that the parents have set for their kids, right? But the level of responsiveness is very low from the parents to the kids. That means that if I'm a parent and I have or I practice authoritarian parenting style, then I'm going to be very strict, very adamant. You know, like if I'm saying you can't go to sleepover, means you can't go to sleepover. And if you ask me, but why, mama, then I'll tell you, because I said so. Don't question with me, or you know, zuban mat chalao, or you know, stuff like that. Jabki you are just asking me. But you know, I'm like, no means no. Right? Like that movie, you know, like where Amitabh Bachchan says that मैंने बोल दिया तो बस बोल दिया, कभी खुशी कभी गम. Right? A lot of that. You know, so that comes from a very authoritarian style. So if I also have to explain with another example, there is a series that I absolutely love. It's called Gilmore Girls. So Lorelai Gilmore, the main protagonist, you will see that throughout all the seasons, her relation with her parents, like Lorelai is a wonderful person. Like she does everything for her kid. You know, she's so lovely, like a very ideal parent. But then again, Lorelai's relationship with her mom and dad, that is Emily Gilmore and Richard Gilmore, it's very strange. You know, it's very distant. It's very rebellious. Rebellious is the word. You know, throughout you will see that, you know, whenever she has to go for her Friday night dinners, or whenever her parents say that they're going to be visiting the town where they're living, Lorelai's first response was, I want to not go, or I want to stay away. Her parents have provided everything for her, but she's very against the idea of sitting with her parents. Even as a matter of fact, when Lorelai conceived her kid, for the ones who have watched it, you will know the reference. Like she left a note and she went to the hospital, you know, for the delivery. Like she didn't even wake her parents up because the rules and discipline and everything was so strict in the family that, you know, she didn't feel the love. And obviously her parents loved her a lot, but she didn't feel it because the level of responsiveness was very low, right? So that is like a very classic example of what happens, you know, when parents, they practice authoritarian parenting style with very high discipline, very high expectation, rigid boundaries, right? Then comes the second type of parenting style. So the second parenting style is called permissive parenting style. So that is very opposite of authoritarian. Like, you know, authoritarian has very strict boundaries and very low responsiveness. When we say permissive parenting style, then the level of expectations or the demands, they're actually lower, but the level of responsiveness is very high. That means that, you know, I may not necessarily tell you that, if I'm a parent, I will be more like that, you want to go out for your friend's party? Yeah, sure. go out, it's fine. Like, more of that, like whatever you're asking, mostly my responses are yes. So more than a parent, I will feel more like a friend to you. All right. Now, though this does work out for a lot of people, because it makes sure that your child is creative, it makes sure your child is independent. But then again, if you don't have boundaries, if you don't have discipline, especially when the kid is growing up, then the kid ends up later developing boundary concerns as well, right? They end up having difficulty in actually having an organized life, in actually having a structure to their life, because most of the time all they heard is a yes. So later hearing a no becomes very difficult for them. All right. So and also, yes, the level of responsiveness from the parent to the kid is high, which is also a very good thing, because the kid feels really loved, really valued, respected, right? So one example can be Schitt's Creek, another series I absolutely love. So there is this character called Moira Rose, and Moira is wonderful. So if you see this series, I'm sure all of you will really have a big laugh. So Moira, if you see, she's more like, she keeps to herself. She's not necessarily, so she has two kids, right? Alexis and David. And especially towards David, she has a very permissive parenting style. So, she will sometimes sit with David, go for their morning breakfast, even in that small town. And she would give her guidance and all of that. And she would tell David what is right, what is wrong, even though ultimately it ends up about her only. But still there's a lot of like exchange of information. But then again, there was never any that, no, David, you should not do this, or, don't do this, or don't do that, or David, come home on time. It wasn't that. She was always like, do whatever you want to do. But she was also very emotionally invested with David. But at the same time, there wasn't any discipline per se, right? So that becomes your permissive. Then we have the third type of parenting style. The third type is called as authoritative parenting style. Now, there are a lot of researchers which says that this is the most effective type of parenting style. So what happens in authoritative is like, it's like a very good balance of both responsiveness as well as demands. So this means that, parents are striking like a very good balance when they're telling the kid that, okay, you cannot go to the sleepover, because, and I know you're feeling bad, but then again, you haven't done your homework and tomorrow is a school night and then you will have problem in school. So you want to have a sleepover, let's do it at our place, during maybe the weekends. So, more of that, where there is a room for expectations and room for negotiation, and there is also discipline, there is also a structure, but also the kids' emotions are being valued at the same time. So this is like a very perfect blend of parenting style, and here kids, they have a really like relation to any other parenting style. Kids here develop higher self-esteem, more self-efficacy, they have better social skills as well, so that is why, according to research, this was considered as one of the most effective ones. And I think all the parents should read a lot about authoritative parenting style. If I have to give an example, again, from Schitt's Creek itself. So we have Johnny Rose, right? So David and Alexis' father and Moira Rose's husband. So Johnny Rose, if you see throughout the series, like even when they lost all their money and everything and they had to move to the town. So throughout, he kept trying, that Alexis and David, they should have something of their own, create their own business or have their something, like something of their own. But at the same time, and he would also set these boundaries, he would also set rules and expectations, but he also really valued his kids, he would like sit with them and try to have a word with them, even though he would feel very awkward, like how do I speak to my kids, like hardly we spoke, now how do I end up speaking? But he tried his best, and it was a very good balance that that Johnny had actually tried to set with both David and Alexis. So yes, that is about authoritative. Then comes the fourth type of the parenting style, and that is called uninvolved or negligent parenting style. So there is this series called Shameless. So there is this character there called Frank Gallagher. So towards the end of the season, there is this episode that shows that, Frank, he has liver concerns, because of which he needs a new liver, but he does not have the money, right? And he will not even stop having alcohol. Like the doctor warned him that now if you have more alcohol, then you will have a failure and this and that. But he would rather try to find a new liver than stop having alcohol. So he continued having alcohol, and then his liver was damaged and now he needs a new liver. But where will he find one? Because he had already taken so much death and no one, it was a whole thing, right? So what Frank Gallagher decides to do is that his youngest kid, Liam, he takes his kid, he then has different fundraisers and he tries to, collect money in the name of his son, saying that his son has cancer. And he told his son that, you have cancer. The son was okay. He wanted money, but he just told the son that you have cancer, and the son believed it, right? So he also would be crying and he would tell everyone, I have cancer, I need money, I'll die. That is the extent to which Frank decided to go. Like he even sent Liam to some cancer camp to have money and everything. But now obviously that is the most severe form of, you can say, negligent parenting. But then again, this is like one example of negligent, like where parents, they keep to themselves. It's more about their own thing. Neither here you have demands or expectations from the kid, and neither are you being responsive to the kid. You are like, okay, I'm providing for the kid, that's all. The kid is alive, no? Okay, good to go. So here they're very uninvolved. They don't know what the kids are doing. They have no idea about the kids' life. The kids, ultimately what happens because of that, the kids, they have to become very, very self-sufficient. They have to become very independent, And because of that, later in future, these kids, they find it very difficult to adjust in different situations because they are so used to being a certain way. They find it very difficult to welcome new people into their life because trust issues are extremely high in such a case. Like if you watch Shameless, you will see one thing, that all of Frank's kids, there were like about 7 to 8 kids, I think, or I forgot the number, but most of his kids, they became very self-sufficient. Like Fiona, the eldest daughter, she is the mother to all the other kids because she did everything, and she was also a kid only. But she did every single thing because Frank was absent, right? So these are the 4 types of parenting styles. And if you see, every parenting style has its pro and has its own cons as well. But then again, authoritative parenting style has been considered as one of the best types of parenting style, and that is one thing that I would recommend all of you to also do your research upon, because that is again the most effective. And yes, what do you guys think by listening to the video? Which parenting style do you perceive that your parents practiced with you? Do let me know in the comment section below.